Okie dokie, boys and girls. I spent almost an entire day yesterday going through every single stage available in RBR Pro. Fuck, toothpick. So I'm not gonna do any motion. I'm just gonna literally have the force feedback of the wheel and the sound from the game. So that'll allow me to explain exactly what it is I like about each stage and why I feel they're worth your time. Now these stages are not going to be in any particular order. There's just too many of them to kind of like put in a list, like top stage to, you know, bottom in terms of quality. Okay, this first stage is called Biskupice. It's a super special stage, and it's got a nice realistic surface, good scenery, and it's an interesting layout. Obviously we're just going to take it easy through all these. Like the vegetation looks good. All my graphic settings are on like the lowest possible right now. These are obviously a lot easier with pace notes. But the textures are good. It's got interesting features. And it just feels cool. So this one's called RZ Komarov. There's 4 different versions of this, and I recommend them all, but this one is my favorite. Like you can see right off the bat, like the artist kind of spent a little bit more time on like textures and making the scenery, you know, interesting, and it varies, which is one of the most important things to me, you know, so I can feel like I'm in a different spot at any point of the stage, you know. You can see like little pebbles and stuff on the ground. That's really cool. The surface textures are not like predictable. You know, they got cracks in the street here and there. Look at this little archway with the trees he created. Got some telephone wires. All this kind of stuff is really important, at least to me, to make me feel like I'm moving in one direction. I know it sounds funny, but if the scenery doesn't change, it's like, how do you know if you're moving? There are 4 different course layouts, and I'm pretty sure it's just lighting changes for the difference between forest and summer, but I prefer the summer lighting. This is one of the few sort of foresty stages, you know, that have been created for this game after the game was made that I enjoy. Really like the surface in this one, and the textures just really kind of make it pop. So if you have like some extra like filters on the game, you can make this look real nice. Okay, this next one's called Kormoran Shakedown. Now, the reason why I like this one is because it's a little bit of a shorter course. The Kormoran 1 and 2 are also good, but they're just a little bit too long for me to enjoy. If I'm like in a really serious mode, I'll go for one of these, but the Shakedown is my go-to in terms of these 3 selections. You can already tell by the sort of bumpiness of the you know, the road ahead and the textures that it's going to be sort of a higher quality course. Foliage is real nice. Tree layout seems natural. I'm not basing me liking this course on like, you know, just foliage and stuff, but that really does help sell it. You can say graphics don't matter all you want, but I mean, like, would you want just to be the road and no scenery in the background at all? And if you answer yes to that, then you're fucking hardcore. Okay, this next one is called Barum Rally, or Barum. I like this sort of bluish looking asphalt, kind of gives it some uniqueness. Real nice road surface. I love when rallies go through like little towns and cities and stuff like that. Really adds a lot of flavor. Grass on the sides is great. I can feel every little bump in the road. Ooh, real nice texture work and you know, shadows, off-camber turns. For having like sort of like a limited color palette, the scenery changes quite a bit. A lot of people might be familiar with this one. I've seen it like even in Assetto Corsa and stuff like that. Other games like with mods, but it's called a Peyregrosse Mandagout. But it's got a really cool sort of realistic layout for like sort of an older looking road that's just been kind of maintained through like, you know, probably hundreds of years, rather than, you know, just freshly done every year kind of thing. Okay, this one's called Verkiai 2010. Really hard to tell where to go without pace notes. You just kind of assume that it's gonna be whatever the most difficult turn is. Okay, I think this is where we start kind of going. Wait, where do we go? Take a right, I guess. So I think this is where we start moving into the countryside. These little side curb things can really mess you up. Nice little dirt spilled onto the asphalt. Yeah, see, this one's a little bit more open. That speed bump really can affect you, huh? Okay. Anyway, you get the point. It's a fucking hard-ass city course. Pretty much all the ones in Germany are like some of the best courses in this game, in my opinion. But this one's called Bergheim V1.1. Bergheim. So that's gonna be really one like where you really need to know where you're going, pace notes wise. You can't just kind of like mosey on through the stage and expect to do well because it's just there's so many little weird turns. Like that one, like I only knew that one because I just crashed 2 times trying to get this footage. I think this is a hairpin coming up. But I mean, like a dirt to asphalt transition, that's really cool. I mean, you don't see that super often in this game. RP 2009 Shakedown. So this one they did a real good job, like making the road surface look believable, the lighting. They did even better job with like the background people, like they're just real pictures of people, with only like the 3D models being the ones that kind of move, which I think is smart. The ones that are like 3D and blocky and just like stand there, they look really weird. See all those little water puddle things, like make the stage feel a lot more believable, like you're really there, and the environment's really trying to kill you. This is the other side of the Lithuanian track that we did recently, but this one's really cool, and I think I featured it in a video before. Or this is a different layout of one of the videos I've done before. And look at the spray paint on the asphalt. You know, all those kind of like little details really help sell it. Like the transitional asphalt to dirt thing. That wouldn't have been a good path to take in real life. Good texture work, make it look like there's rocks in the dirt right there on this inside corner. Some actual rocks, and those look like you can actually hit those. A little bit rough looking through there, but a lot of off-camber stuff, sort of unique looking foliage, and there should be a small town integrated into the course later on. Anyway, but this is a great one. This one is one of my absolute favorites. It's called Sieversdorf V1.1. Definitely check this one out. I'm just gonna kind of take it easy. Kind of just give you a visual representation of it. Sort of a real tight area. Like if you run into any one of these little poles on the right or the left, like you're done. But real interesting layout. A lot of surface changes. Makes you really feel like you're going places. The stage just keeps on getting better and better. Like, that's all I need to say about that one. Gestel, or Gestel? Gotta love the ones that start you off in a city. Straight out into the woods. Nice farm scenery in the background. Little corner cuts. Makes you feel like someone has actually been here before you. The road is not a perfect surface. Especially like when you're going faster, like you really notice the imperfections in the road. Like even on the highway, you'll notice that. But like on these sort of mountain or these sort of back roads, small towns, if you haul ass in these roads, you feel it. So I really like that they sort of captured that. Just weaving in and out of the towns, really cool. Like you really feel like you're kind of like a spectator sport. You know, people are watching you in the town just rip up their roads, you know. Okay, here's another one called Ptd Rallysprint. And if you wonder why I'm putting my phone down each time, it's because I'm checking through my list I created. Because it's really hard to remember some of the names of these. Like, they're just some really weird names. Not weird, just foreign sounding names that I'm just not familiar with saying those kind of words, you know. So already we see some grass in the middle of the road. I love that. That means like this is really a back road, you know? Only traveled on by, you know, a select few people. Off the beaten path, you might say. Another thing that I really like about this kind of a course is the varying width of the road. It doesn't feel like the same width all the way throughout the stage. So which gives it another sense of realism. We've got a big old dip right there. Little jump. That's one of the biggest issues I have with a lot of rally games is, especially like the older rally games. It just felt like, I mean, can you imagine just like being on the beach? The sand is kind of wet, and you're just carving out the path with one of those little sand shovels, and that's how a lot of these stages feel to me. So this one feels like organic, and that's what I like about it. So this one is one of my absolute favorites. It's called Carvalho De Rei, I think. Everything about the stage like screams quality to me, like color palette, the texture work, the road surface detail, course layout. Everything just feels really good. This is another layout of one of the other courses I showed earlier in the video. But this is about as high quality as I've found in terms of course layouts and course just overall, or at least one of the most high quality. So you kind of recognize it now. And like I said, I have actually done a video on this course in one of the WRC cars. But yeah, it's a really nice course. Check it out. So one of the things I like about this is there's snow on the left and no snow on the right, or almost no snow on the right. So it's just kind of cool. Immediately, I'm just proven wrong. Okay, but when I get up in the mountains, you'll see what I mean. But already the road surface is really cool, both figuratively and literally. Maybe not literally, but figuratively and visually. Get on there. Yeah, really cool texture work. Here, that's an example of what I'm saying. Like, you feel like you're kind of higher up in elevation, just based on the fact that there's snow to your left and not as much snow on the right. Like, that's where the sun's hitting. So the lighting is not the best in this stage. You kind of feel like you're in like a studio, or you're like a Micro Machines in some kid's room or something like that. Pretty much anything that says Stryckovy, like this one says Osli, the next one is Zadni Porici. All of these are good. So we're just gonna do this one, but if you see that name, download that course. It's gonna be awesome. Nice detail, getting Japan vibes, even though I don't think this is where we are. Not with that name, I guess. Uh-oh. Ooh, surface change, nice. The dirt feels a little bit too smooth, but just the fact that it's a surface change, I like that. Real nice little area right here. Real cool. Download it now. Liptakov. This is a very quality stage. I mean, you can tell just by the background stuff. Someone spent a lot of time really making this feel fleshed out. Hradek. You gotta get real breathy with it. Hradek. If that's how to say it, I don't know. Look at that. That looks great. Like, you know you're gonna have a good time immediately when you see those kind of textures and this kind of a start. Road looks really good. Nice tunnel work. Oh. Go through a little city here. Some train tracks, and whoever designed these city roads should be fired, but it's great for rally. Got a little industrial part of the town. But yeah, just really cool. Nice chicane with nice textured Jersey barriers. Pop through town here, pick up some groceries. This is the kind of town like where you'd see like meat hanging in the windows. Okay, so that's it. Those are all my favorite stages and ones I think that are worth your time. Just because a stage didn't make it on my list does not make it a bad stage. It just means I personally wouldn't put it in my list of tracks to play over and over and over. I'll play through it once, yeah, like any of these stages, I'll play through it once because it's nice to experience something new, something fresh. That's why it's so nice to have so many. But if you're just like wanting to focus on like one and just like really dial it in and just, you know, absorb all the details, I think these stages are where it's at. Have a good day. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in a future video.